What's going on today, guys? We're back at it again. We're going to be talking about the Battle of the Striker Fires. The Glock 19 Gen 4 versus the new Sig Sauer P320 Compact. Both are 15-round magazines. Both of them are going to be comparable in size and weight. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Glock. The Glock 19 has been around for quite some time. This particular model, the Gen 4, made its debut in SHOT Show 2010. The Gen 4 was redesigned with its interchangeable back straps, the updated recoil spring design, aggressive rough texture frame, grip checkering, and it also included 3 magazines, which is a plus because compared to the Gen 3 Glock 19, you only get 2. So the Glock Gen 4 has been a staple for the last 6 years in the gun market. So let me ask you a question. When the last time you went to a gun store and someone was looking for a pistol, or even if you were looking for a pistol for the first time, what was the first pistol that they tried to sell you? Could it be a Glock? Well, there's a reason for this due to its simplicity and use and durability. The old saying goes, if it's good for the police, it's good for me. And all that is true if you like the grip angle and the texture on the sides of the frame and the not so great plastic sights. Glocks are like toys for adults though. You can customize it to fit you. The market is flooded with the accessories like trigger kits, night sights, extended slide mag release, and the list goes on, but it's all about preference and what feels good in your hand. And in my hand, the Glock 19 Gen 4, it's okay. I owned a Glock 19 Gen 3 in the past, but it was somewhat uncomfortable to shoot due to the middle finger. My middle finger was always being pressed up against the trigger guard. I typically like to hold my pistols a little high, and the Glock just doesn't feel good. So I didn't like the grip angle, but I did like the pistol. It shot very well, and I really liked it. But again, I just didn't like how it smushed my middle finger. Yeah, I could have sent it off and had custom work done to it to make it fit better in my hand, but why should I do that? Glocks are supposedly great out of the box, or so people have told me. So taking down the Glock, you want to make sure you remove the magazine. You want to do a safety check. I like to go ahead and pull the trigger on it. You're going to kind of grip it with your left hand or your strong hand. You're going to pull back, and then you have these 2 tabs, one on each side, and you're going to push down, and then the whole slide will just come right apart. Then you have your recoil spring. This is that new design recoil spring that I was talking about. And then you have your barrel that comes out. So if you want to do a trigger job, you can. You can replace the springs back here on the trigger guard and back in the back with the firing spring. So you can change all that out. Also, you can put on the extended slide release, the extended mag release, and then like my wife has on her Glock, she has that plug on here on the bottom, so when you can load the magazines a little bit better. Putting it back together, you're going to put your barrel in, you're going to put your recoil spring back in, and you're going to line it up on the rails on the frame, pull back, you're going to do a safety, you're going to do make sure you do a function test, make sure it works, and you're good to go. So like I said, the aftermarket world is just going crazy for the Glock guns, for the Gen 4. Like I said, you can do all the trigger jobs, all this other stuff. Holsters are going to be very easy to find, Safari Land, or you can do a custom holster like my wife has right here. This is her custom holster I got made for her from CNC Holsters out of Ohio. They offer really good holsters at a really great price. They're made out of Kydex, and she absolutely loves carrying this pistol. She is also a nurse and in EMS as well with me. So, the aftermarket world is just insane for the Glocks. Eventually, we're going to be changing out those plastic sights, and we're going to be getting her the 3-dot night sights, which she's been wanting and what she's used to shooting. But she's actually very accurate with this gun. She loves carrying it. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Glock, but it's just whatever feels good in your hand, though. And for her, it feels really good. So at SHOT Show 2014, here comes waltzing in something new from Sig Sauer, their new Striker Fire model pistol. Sig Sauer is famously known for their P-Series pistols since the 1970s, but not Striker Fire pistols. One of the key features of this pistol is the modular design. The only thing serialized is the fire control unit itself. When I say the unit, it's one complete assembly. The frame, the slide, recoil spring, and barrels can be interchanged from different calibers as well as size. For example, let's say you purchase this P320 Compact configured in a 357 SIG, but now you want a full-size model to compete in your local gun matches, but in 9mm. Well, Sig has made it easy for you to change it out with their exchange kits. The kits include the barrel, the slide, the frame, and one magazine, all for around $3.99 from Sig directly. I have found exchange kits a little bit cheaper online at other distributors, and they're going around $300 to $350. But the modularity makes this gun great. The exchange kits are interchangeable, so if you have a 9 or 40 or 357 Sig control group, you can change them out with each other. Unfortunately, if you want to change over to the 45 ACP, you have to purchase a brand new pistol due to the larger control unit not fitting in the smaller grips and vice versa. Now, if you wanted to change the frame width, you can. Sig sells just the frames for $40. Most P320s will come with the medium grip, but they sell the small and large grips as well. When the P320 came to my local gun store, I was in sure bliss. You know, I was holding it, I was racking back the slide, and you know, I really had no problems with that middle finger being cramped up against the trigger guard. It is actually cut up a little bit higher versus the Glock 19. So this pistol was everything I have been looking for in a striker fire pistol. The ease of the controls, the ambidextrous slide releases, and also you can change out the mag release. It can be changed out for left hand or right hand, which is great. And it also included a paddle style holster straight from Sig. Could this be my next pistol purchase? Then I squeezed the trigger, and you know what? It sure was. The grip alone had me sold, but the trigger made it like a done deal for me. The trigger feels much less than the average 7.8 pounds trigger. It felt like 4 pounds easily. So, you know, I absolutely love this pistol. I like how it has a cocking serrations up front and back, so you can do a press check if need be. And the ease of taking this pistol down and putting it back together is just incredible. So taking down the P320 is just really, really easy. You're gonna drop the magazine and you're gonna do a safety check, make sure it's clear. You're gonna lock the slide back. You're gonna rotate your takedown lever 90 degrees, and then you're gonna let go of the slide release, and then the frame comes right off. There's your recoil spring, and there's your barrel, and there's your slide. Now to change out the grip module, you're gonna undo the takedown lever. You're gonna pull back on the trigger just a smidge to clear the frame, and there's your fire control unit, and there's your grip module. So this is the only thing serialized on this gun, and the serial number will be shown on this back side right here. So putting it back together, you're gonna make sure that the back piece lines up on the back portion back here. You're gonna push in on the trigger a little bit, and you're gonna kind of pull it back. You'll hear it snap in. Now this is the hard part that I have for me, is just getting in the slide, or getting the takedown lever to go back in. You have to clear the spring that's inside, and you just kind of have to just kind of wiggle it around, and eventually it'll go in. Just got to give it some tender love, and it'll kind of go in. And there you go, that's in. You're gonna put your barrel back in. You're gonna put your recoil spring back in. And you're gonna line up on the rails. You're gonna pull back on it. When you're sliding the slide back, you wanted to make sure it locks back. And you're gonna do a function test. Now, the cool thing too about the P320, if you're gonna do some dry firing, you do not have to rack the slide back every time to pull the trigger. If you want to practice, it'll actually still give you the click that you would use if you were gonna practice as you would be dry firing and racking the slide back. It gives you the same breaking point, which is really nice. Also, Apex makes a flat trigger on it, so the aftermarket world is starting to come around. The holsters for this thing is actually really great. If you have a P250, all the holsters will work for it. So if you find something online for the P250, it will work Safariland, or you can get a custom holster made online. You know, you do have that option as well. The market is starting to come around. If you do want a trigger job on it, you can send it off to Bruce Gray, and he can work his magic on it, and you can have a competition style trigger pull, or you can do a carry trigger pull. Just depends on what you want. Also, you can get the new X-ray sights that Sig's coming out on their Legion series will also fit on this pistol as well. So the modularity of this pistol is just great. When I go to the range, especially with friends who shoot Glocks, I let them try out my P320 and the verdict is always the same. They absolutely love it. I've converted Glock fans to Sig fans in just a few minutes. My wife absolutely loves her Glock 19 and she likes to shoot my P320, but she says the Glock fits her better. The P320 without night sights is being sold locally for $489.99 and with the night sights for $549.99, while the Glock 19 Gen 4 is being sold for $525, but it does not include the night sights. Glock does offer a blue line special for military and first responders. You can pick up a Glock 19 Gen 4 locally for $425. Sig Sauer does offer a military and first responder discount for the P320. The 2016 price is $425 without night sights and $495 with night sights. At the end of the day, it's all about what you like best and what's going to fit your carry needs. If I had to choose just one, I'd have to pick the P320. But like I said, it's always up to you and what you like. Just remember, when you are at a local gun shop searching for your next pistol and the clerk immediately tries to sell you a Glock, think about other options. You may be surprised that other pistols fit your needs and hands better. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to, please visit us online at facebook.com/streetmedic12 to see upcoming reviews and reviews like this one. Also, you can send us a message. And, if you want to see something, let us know. We'll see what we can do. As always, be good and be safe.